Next time you're travelling through Ropley on the train, you may notice a proliferation of little sheds all about the place. Some are from different places around other railways, like this one. And this little box here comes from Dean near Salisbury and was put back here in 1978 by the volunteers who first started the railway. Now, actually it was used as the signal box or ground frame cover until it was replaced by the box we have up there, the main one here at Ropley. Now, normally you'd expect it to say perhaps Ropley down here on the side on the name, but it says here Blake's Crossing. Unusually, this is actually after someone who is a bit of a character on the railway, a character of the early days of preservation. So this is a little bit more about him from people who knew him.
Ah, Blakey. Ropley, you had real characters. I don't know why they aggregated there, but they did, because you had the two Arthurs. You had Arthur Blake and Arthur Ledbury.
He was in charge of the station, but he had to have everything absolutely spotless, including the track work. And we all got memories of Arthur Blake down on the track, hand-picking weeds from between the sleepers through the station area because they looked untidy. And we didn't have any weed-killing trains like you do now, so that was all hard work.
He was very famous for making things out of pallets. Pallets was the staple delivery here in terms of firewood, but Arthur would select those that were still in good condition and thought, oh, I could use that. So like there's a whole, they've all been replaced now, but a lot of the fences that you see around here were originally made out of pallets. So there's this sort of a famous thing where, you know, it's sort of like, quick burn it before Arthur makes something out of it.
He ran Ropley, but he ran it in his own way. And he get people to do things, and it wasn't until after they did it, that crafty old so I didn't intend doing that. Well, you've done it. And he was always going into the shed at Ropley and say, can you make this for me?
Arthur would go into the shed on normally on a Sunday, wanting a little job done. And you could go into the loco shed, which was the only workshop we had at the time. And nobody was working on engines, they were all doing little jobs for Arthur because you couldn't say no to Arthur. He was such a lovely guy that everybody's doing little jobs for Arthur.
And I remember one of the engineering managers came to me one day, he said, you're going to have to do something about it. Boy, he said, my blokes in the shed, they're doing more work for Arthur Blake than they are for the railway. I said, well, if Arthur Blake's asked them to do it, they're doing it for the railway.
And it got to the stage where there was a side entrance to the shed at the time. As Arthur went in there looking for people, they all come running out the main door to the front to go and hide because they knew they'd get nothing else done for the railway or for the loco fleet that day because they'd all be doing little jobs for Arthur. But the highlight's got to be when he was 90, he had a party on the picnic area at Ropley. And I can't remember how a Harley Davidson arrived, whether it was one of his guests rode a Harley Davidson, but Arthur left the party on his 90th birthday as a pillion passenger on a Harley Davidson. And that's Arthur was brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Although Arthur passed away many years ago, his influence has never been lost. The Wednesday Gang, which he started, still continues today, keeping the stations looking their glorious best. So next time you pass through Ropley Station and see Blake's Crossing, maybe take a second look at one of the best maintained rural stations in Britain. Long after Arthur, now thanks to a brilliant team. All for your delight.